Hello dear students, welcome to today's thermal engineering class. Today's in thermal engineering we will see thermodynamics process of vapor. As you know that we have already discussed thermodynamic process of perfect gases. Those were isothermal process, isochoric process and isobaric process, adiabatic process, polytropic process, etc. Same processes are applicable to the vapor also. So let us see one by one all the processes. First, constant volume process, that is isochoric process. How it is possible? The heating or cooling of steam in a closed vessel is an example of constant volume process. Here the volume of gas will be constant, volume of vapor will be constant before and after the process. Let us consider 1 kg of wet steam being heated at constant volume from state 1 to state 2. Let at state 1 P1 be the pressure of wet steam and Vg1 is equal to specific volume of dry saturated steam at pressure P1 and x1 be the dryness fraction, and let at state 2 P2 Vg2 and x2 are the corresponding values in state 2. Means P2 is the pressure of wet steam and Vg2 is the specific volume dry saturated steam and x2 is dryness fraction. So the initial volume can be calculated. V1 is equal to x1 Vg1, as we have studied in properties of steam that V1 is equal to x1 x Vg. So V1 is equal to x1 Vg1 and V2 is equal to x2 Vg2. Because it is constant volume process, so V1 is equal to V2. So x1 Vg1 is equal to x2 Vg2. So from this equation we can find out the dryness fraction of the final state. x2 is equal to x1 Vg1 by Vg2. Here one thing should be noted that if x2 is less than x1, it means steam is cooled, and if x2 is equal to 1, it means steam is dry saturated, and then in this condition V2 is equal to Vg2 is equal to x1 Vg1. If steam is superheated finally, then V2 is equal to Vsup. Let temperature be Tsup for superheated steam, then we can get the superheated pressure like this using this equation. Let us find the various parameter of this process, various important things in this process. That is, number one, work done during constant volume process. As work done is equal to given by this equation, so volume is equal to constant, so dV is equal to 0, hence work done will be 0. Change in internal energy, that is U2 minus U1. Let us find initial internal energy is equal to H1 minus 100 P1 V1. So this is the basic equation of the enthalpy, as we know that H is equal to U plus PV. So U is equal to H minus PV. So same thing we have used here. U1 is equal to H1 minus 100 P1 V1. Now you will ask that why I have written here 100. So I have this pressure is given in bar. All the pressure I have considered in bar. So bar to kilopascal. How we will convert? Bar to kilopascal we have to convert, then we will have to multiply by the 100. So it indicates that this is pressure we have converted into kilopascal. So then we can say that it is kilojoule per kg, internal energy kilojoule per kg. So U1 is equal to H1 minus 100 P1, and we, in place of V1 we can write Vg1 X1, and I have specified here that P1 bar is equal to 100 P1 kilopascal. So final internal energy, this is the initial internal energy, and final internal energy is H2 minus 100 P2 Vg2 X2 kilojoule per kg. But if steam is wet, then we can write like this. And if steam is dry and superheated, then how can we write? Let us see on next page. So if steam is dry saturated, then U2 is equal to H2 minus 100 P2 Vg2. And if steam is superheated, then U2 is equal to H2 minus 100 P2 V SCP. And from this we can calculate change in internal energy U2 minus U1. U2 is here and U1 is last page. Now let us find out the heat absorbed in this process. According to first law of thermodynamics, heat supplied is equal to, or heat transfer is equal to, change in internal energy plus work done. But work done here 0, so change heat supply will be equal to change in internal energy. Let us come on the constant pressure process, that is isobaric process for the steam, where we can see it. The generation of steam in steam boilers is an example of constant pressure process. Now, one important thing we need to understand that heating of wet steam is done at constant pressure to convert it into dry saturated steam. As we know that at constant pressure steam is heated, wet steam heated to convert into dry saturated steam. Because the wet steam can exist only at a particular temperature for a given pressure. So heating of wet steam to convert it into dry saturated steam at constant pressure is also a constant temperature process. Because at constant temperature wet steam will convert into dry saturated steam only at constant pressure. This is a unique combination. Temperature and pressure unique combination at which steam will be wet and convert into dry saturated steam. So once steam will be dry saturated, then constant pressure, then temperature does not remain constant, and then it will not follow the isothermal process. Okay. So the constant pressure process is also isothermal process when wet steam converts into dry steam at saturation temperature. But after that it is not isothermal. So let us consider 1 kg of steam being heated at constant pressure from one state to two states, and let's say pressure is constant and it is P. Let x1 x2 be the dryness fraction in state 1 and 2. As the pressure is constant, so specific volume of dry steam corresponding to pressure will remain constant. So pressure is constant, so specific volume will remain constant. So Vg1 is equal to Vg2 is equal to Vg. Let's say at that pressure the dry steam having the Vg specific volume, and it will be valid for state 1 and state 2 also because pressure is constant. So V1 can be find out like x1 Vg and V2 can be find out x2 Vg. So this is initial volume, this is final volume. One thing you should note that if at final condition is dry saturated, then x2 is equal to 1 and V2 is equal to Vg. And if final condition is superheated, then V2 is equal to Vscp. This is an important point to note. Now let us find out the work done in this constant pressure process. Work done will be given by PdV as P is equal to constant. So we can find out, take out the work done outside from integration. 100 P. Now dV, now volume is changing from V1 to V2, so it can be written as like this. Now V2 and V1 is here, V1 is equal to x1 Vg and V2 is equal to x2 Vg. So we can put here this value, and this is equation 1 which gives the work done in constant pressure process. Let us find out the change in internal energy. U1 is equal to H1 minus 100 PV1 and V1 is equal to Vg x1. Similarly, U2 is equal to H2 minus 100 P2, 100 PV2, so H2 minus 100 PVg x2. Now change in internal energy is equal to U2 minus U1, and by subtracting this from this we get H2 minus H1 minus 100 PVg x2 minus x1 kilojoule per kg. So this is the equation 1 and this is the equation 2. We will utilize this in next finding. So let us see that how to find out the heat transfer during the process. So from first law of thermodynamics we know that heat supplied is equal to, or heat transfer is equal to, work done plus change in internal energy. So from equation 1 and 2 we can, if we put work done and change in internal energy here, then we get heat transferred is equal to H2 minus H1. So in this process heat transferred will be equal to change in enthalpy. Let us come on the constant temperature process. As in constant temperature volume pressure process, we have already discussed that constant pressure process is also a constant temperature process. During the conversion of steam at saturation temperature, when wet steam converts into dry steam, then along with the pressure, temperature also remains constant. So all the equations we have gotten in constant pressure process, that will be also valid for the constant temperature process. So what I have written here, I read it. As we know that the wet steam has only one saturation temperature at constant at a given pressure. So the heating of wet steam at constant temperature till it becomes dry saturated is same as the heating at constant pressure. Okay. So for an isothermal process which is limited to only wet steam region only, the expression for work done, change in internal energy and heat transferred will be same as for the constant pressure process, as I have told. Let us come on the, so we need not to concentrate in this process. All the expression will valid which we have found out in constant pressure process. Now let us see, come on next process, adiabatic process. That is the constant entropy process. So we know from the basic condition of this process that heat transferred will be zero in this process, as we know earlier, and change in entropy will be zero in this process. This is the two basic conditions for this. Change in entropy zero means initial entropy will be equal to final entropy, and heat transfer will be zero. So let us take 1 kg of steam being heated by adiabatic process from state 1 to state 2. Let at state 1 pressure be P1 and at state 2 pressure be P2. Specific volume of dry saturated steam be Vg1 at state 1 and at state 2 Vg2. Dryness fraction be x1 and x2 at state 1 and 2, and entropy be S1 and S2. Now entropy at state 1 and state 2 can be calculated as S1 is equal to Sf1 plus x1 Sfg 1 and S2 is equal to Sf2 plus x2 into Sfg2. Because entropy is constant here, so S1 is equal to S2, and so Sf1 plus x1 Sfg1 is equal to Sf2 plus x2 Sfg2. Say this is equation 1. So from this equation 1 we can find out the dryness fraction. And we can conclude if x2 is less than or equal to 1, then steam is wet or dry saturated. Less than means dry saturated and 1 means less than means wet and equal to means dry. If x is greater than 1, then steam is superheated, and superheated temperature can be found out from this equation. Temperature, volume, anything can be found out as per the available data and unknown data. Now change in internal energy will be given by U1 is equal to H1 minus 100 P1 V1, H1 minus 100 P1 Vg1 X1, and similarly U2 is equal to H2 minus 100 P2 Vg2 X2. This will be for wet steam. For dry steam, X2 will be 1, so H2 minus 100 P2 Vg2 for dry. And for superheated steam, U2 will be H2 minus 100 P2 V SUP. And change in internal energy can be found out. Now heat absorbed or heat transferred. It is simple because it's a derivative process. So heat transfer will be 0, and from first law of thermodynamics we know that heat transfer is equal to work done plus change in internal energy. So by applying that equation we get work done is equal to minus time change in internal energy, means U1 minus U2, that will be work done. Here one thing should be noted that in adiabatic process PV gamma is equal to constant, and gamma is equal to 1.13 for wet steam and 1.135 for dry steam and 1.3 for superheated steam. Now we have seen the process of vapor, and one process is left, that is polytropic process, that we will see in next class, and we will try to solve some problem on the basis of this. Otherwise you can also solve the solved example from any book, which is very simple. And after that we will start boiler, and boiler is purely theoretical part. So in boiler I will provide you notes. If you will have any doubts on that, then you can contact me in my number as you will have. So after that, whatever will be theoretical part, I will try to provide notes on that, and I will keep a dot clearing session for that, or otherwise you can contact individually to me if you are having any doubts on that. So you submit your assignment timely so that I can give you attendance, and the name of file should be very proper. It will help me to give you attendance. Thank you.